And we are live. Welcome for this weekly live stream on the latest and greatest news in Ethereum and DeFi. If you are new here, I'm Julian, and on Eat the Blocks, I teach blockchain development. Hi, everybody in the chat. We have Batman, Yashvira, Carl, Dan, Synapse, Ciao Pizza Bella. So today, I am not home, so I'm broadcasting from another location, so that's why the background is a little bit different. I also couldn't carry my mic, so please forgive me if the sound is a little bit worse than usual today, but this is exceptional. And for those who are new here, if you want to know how you can become a professional blockchain developer, you should take my free training where I will give you a couple of tips that will make you save a lot of time in your job search. So you follow the link I posted in the chat if you're interested in that. And then we're going to start with the price of Ether. So unfortunately, that was a bad week. We are testing the support at 3,000, even though just 2 weeks ago we thought we would go above 4,000, so quite disappointing. But you know, there is still some hope because usually the end of the year is super good for crypto. So this is probably just a momentary decrease. No reason to panic here. All right, so then let's check out the price of gas. So we reached a peak 1 week ago, and so now we are done for the price of gas. So Ethereum is getting a bit cheaper to use. And then there was an interesting article of the time on Vitalik Buterin, who is one of the most influential people of 2021. So that really tells you how much crypto became a mainstream if the time is talking about it. All right, so then let's continue with another article of a very mainstream media, The Economist, that released an article about DeFi, and basically they explain that Bitcoin is actually now a distraction, and where all the innovation is happening is for DeFi, and this is happening on Ethereum. So this is the first time that we have really a mainstream media that start to understand this. So that'll be good to see mainstream media start to talk more about Ethereum and less about Bitcoin. All right, so next we are going to continue with some news for Ethereum 2.0. So there is a new client for Ethereum 2.0 that was released. This is called Teku, and the big breakthrough with this new client is that it can sync with the network super fast. Instead of a few hours, it syncs with the network in just 10 minutes. So that's a huge improvement in usability for Ethereum 2.0. Next, we are going to talk about layer 2 scaling solution, and we had a huge increase recently in the total value locked. So now we have $3.6 billion that is locked in L2, and as you can see, there was a big increase at the beginning of September. And in terms of the ranking for the network, so Arbitrum is far ahead of the pack. Then the DYDX, Optimism is doing well. And surprisingly, Polygon is actually quite far in its ranking. And then, yes, so still talking about Arbitrum. So Arbitrum grew tremendously in the past few weeks. It went just from 1.5 million to 1.5 billion. So that's really, really impressive. Then still about Arbitrum, so that was this interesting article from Ocean Labs, which is the company behind Arbitrum. This is an article that explains how the validation is done on Arbitrum. So there are different kind of strategy for the different validator. So you have the active validator that basically produce some new block, some new rollup block and submit them to Ethereum L1. Then you have defensive validator, which do not produce any block, but they just watch the new block that are being posted, and if any of them is not valid, then they submit a fraud proof. And then you have the watchtower validator that does not submit any roller block, also doesn't submit any fraud proof, but they just report when something wrong is happening. All right, so then we have an update for Optimism, which is another L2 scaling solution. And so they've updated their system so that we can use exactly the same Solidity compiler as for Ethereum L1. So before you had to use a slightly different compiler, and that was really a problem because basically it just complicated the deployment of contract on Optimism. So now they managed to do exactly the same thing as on Ethereum L1. So it's big improvement for the developer experience. Then we're going to continue with the market cap of DeFi. So it's quite disappointing because everybody thought that we were just about to break through the $100 billion limit for the total value locked, but unfortunately this is not the case. However, for the number of Ethereum that is locked in the system, we are back up. When it comes to the DeFi market cap on Binance Smart Chain, so this is still very, very sluggish, really. Binance Smart Chain for DeFi is really falling behind recently. Then we are going to talk about the top and worst coin for DeFi. So we have Wonderland plus 55%. We have a Trader Joe plus 26%. Trader Joe, which is a project on Solana, if I remember well. Then we have Olympus DAO plus 11%. Rocket Pool plus 11%. Plus DYDX also is doing well. And in terms of the worst token, so we have Vi. What I'm saying. In terms of the worst token, we have IDX, which had a huge increase last week because they rolled out a new version of their exchange. So maybe the increase was a little bit too optimistic because now they're down 40%. Radium minus 36, Cero minus 30, and Anchor Protocol minus 27, DDX minus 26. Okay, so a lot of volatility for the DeFi coin this week. A lot of winner, but also a lot of loser. All right, so let's check out the crypto fees. So this is a dashboard with the different crypto projects ranked by the fees that were collected. So Ethereum is still ahead of everybody else. Then Uniswap collected basically 10% of the fee of Ethereum. Aave, so here this is interesting because even though Aave is ahead of Uniswap in terms of total value locked, Aave still earns more money than Uniswap earns more money than Aave. And then Bitcoin, which is far after Ethereum. And it's also interesting to note in the ranking, the L2 scaling solutions, we have Arbitrum here and Optimism, and Cardano is really below, even below some L2 scaling solution. All right, so next we're going to continue with news of specific DeFi projects, and we have a news from Uniswap, which is introduced a new feature called Auto Router. So basically, this is an optimization for large trades where it's able to split routes. That means you can execute a trade across multiple pools at once. And this is especially useful for big order because before, when you send all your order in single pool, maybe that you exhaust all the liquidity of this pool, but you actually waste money because maybe there was some liquidity in another pool, so you end up overpaying in slippage. But with this new feature, that won't be the case. So this is basically what they did is as if they sort of imported part of the functionality of something like 1inch, but into Uniswap. And from what I understand, this is not done at the smart contract level, but this is external. This is something that is done in JavaScript. And so if you read the article, you'll find more detail, but the code of their optimizer is available on GitHub. All right, so next we have some news from Curve Finance, which is launching on Arbitrum. So Arbitrum, which has a lot of traction right now. Then we also have another protocol that is launching on Arbitrum. So that's perpetual pools. So perpetual pools is an advanced DeFi protocol that allow you to go long or short for any DeFi asset. All right, so next, we're going to continue with some news for Rebound. So Rebound V2 is launching, and that's a big improvement compared to V1 because now everything is much more automatic. So before they had this concept of manage vault, but now their vault are run by fully autonomous code. And so if you never heard of Rebound, this is basically a DeFi protocol that will allow you to take position using options, and they offer some advanced option strategy like a covered call, etc. Well, I won't spend too much time on this, but basically it's this kind of option strategy are already very used in traditional finance, but so far we didn't really have them for DeFi. So with Rebound, it's accessible to everyone. But of course, remember that this kind of thing is super risky. All right. So next, we are going to continue with SushiSwap. So the co-founder of SushiSwap, OxMaki, steps down. So he will remain in the DAO as an advisor, but basically he motivated this by saying that he was really taking a toll on his physical and mental health. So yeah, it's just stepping down. Then we have so we're going to continue with fundraising, and Franklin Templeton is seeking $20 million for basically to create their blockchain venture capital fund. So this is a huge asset manager in the US, and they seem super interested in crypto. Then Polychain and another big VC invest a lot of money into Avalanche, which is basically a clone of Ethereum, and is having some traction right now. Then we also have Immutable, which is an Australian NFT project. Basically, they want to create a blockchain for NFT, and so they are raising 60 million for their project. Then we're going to continue with hack, and so we had a hack of $12 million for the P Network project. So this is a bridging protocol. It allows you to transfer your asset across a different blockchain. Then another hack. So there was $3 million that was stolen in another hack. So basically this happened on SushiSwap for their Miso platform. So this is the second time this happened. A couple of weeks ago we had another hack, but that was done by a white hat hacker, so all the money was returned. But this time this is not the case. And Miso, this is a feature of SushiSwap that allow project to launch their token, and so this was used for an NFT drop, and so unfortunately there was this hack. So then we're going to continue with news for NFT, and it seems like finally the recent NFT craze is coming to an halt. Now we're flat for the average of the secondary price. Then still in NFT, so there was a big acquisition. So the NFT platform Bondly was not acquired, but they sold a majority stake to a game maker which is called Animoca. And so if you never heard of Bondly, that basically offer NFT service like minting, like swapping of NFT and different things. They are famous for distributing the NFT of Logan Paul, and so yeah, so they raise so they just raised a lot of money thanks to this acquisition. All right, so then we have some news from a billionaire, Stephen Cohen, which invested $50 million in a big NFT player. This new project, basically, this is a new project that want to basically turn some how do you say? They want to take a footage of a football game in the US and turn them into NFT. So kind of similar to what we already saw before, but for football. All right. So next, I have some news from OpenSea, which is introducing their mobile app. So there is no purchase at the moment. Actually, purchase on mobile for crypto purchase is a very difficult thing because all the app stores, so Android and the app store for iOS, at the moment they basically remove any crypto app that offer crypto payment, but there is a lot of pushback. So maybe they're gonna cave in and allow this feature, but at the moment it's really difficult to do it. All right, so then we have some other news for OpenSea. So they fired the head of product, Nate Chastain, because they figured out that he was doing some insider trading. So basically what he was doing is, before some NFT project became featured on the homepage of OpenSea, he would buy them a few hours before, so to resell them and make a huge profit. So this is a bit complicated because there isn't really any law that applies to crypto for that kind of behavior, but in traditional finance this is a big no-no. So not sure if this guy actually is going to face any charge for any lawsuit for what he did, but because OpenSea is so high profile and they want to maintain their trust with the community, I think that was the best thing to do. And yeah, and it's super disappointing to see someone at OpenSea doing this. All right, so then there is this new project, Small Puddle. So this is basically an NFT marketplace that was deployed on Arbitrum. I think this is the first one that is on Arbitrum at the moment. Then we're going to continue with enterprise, blockchain, and regulation. So here there's this interesting thread on Reddit that analyzes a little bit what the new US crypto regulation is about. Because, you know, if you've been following the news a couple of weeks, that there is this this new crypto regulation that is part of the US infrastructure bill that basically had nothing to do there, but it was included, and there are some scary items. And so in this Reddit thread, someone analyzed this deeply, and actually this new upcoming regulation, it hasn't been voted yet. It's been discussed now, but people realize that it was much more dangerous than we previously thought. So with this new regulation, Bitcoin, Ether, and a lot of crypto will be considered as commodities and will be regulated as such. It creates a lot of uncertainties for a lot of crypto projects to be labeled as security. This new regulation will basically ban a lot of stable coins that were not approved before. They will introduce penalties if you use a mixer or privacy coin. Then it will rebrand smart contracts that take longer than 24 hours to deliver as future contracts, because there is already a legal framework for futures in traditional finance, and a couple of other stuff. But is basically it seems like they don't even bother to create laws that are specific to crypto. It's just that they take the law that already apply to traditional finance and they just decide to also apply them to crypto, which is absolutely stupid because crypto is not the same thing. So yeah, this is interesting to see this analysis, but we have to keep in mind that this new regulation in the US is still in discussion, and we're still probably years away before it is voted and put into application. So we're still, hopefully there is still a lot of time left to lobby and make big changes in this law. All right, so next, let's continue with this news from Coinbase that said that they filed an application to register as a future commission merchant in the US. And so, of course, this is related to all this crypto regulation stuff I mentioned before. So they want to have as many licenses as they can so that if one day parts of cryptocurrency are rebranded as part of cryptocurrency are regulated as future, then they'll be ready for that. All right, so next we have some news from Walmart. So there was a report last week that where some entity pretended that they were Walmart and they announced a partnership with Litecoin, and that led to a 30% increase for Litecoin, but Walmart denied it, so this is not true. And I mean that was a little bit strange at this point. Litecoin, this is very 2017. Nothing is happening to Litecoin now. All right, so next we have some news from El Salvador that decided to buy an extra 150 Bitcoin for the government fund. So El Salvador, which in the past few months has been very bullish for crypto, they decided to make Bitcoin a legal tender. Now on Twitter, I saw a picture of someone who bought maybe a Big Mac at McDonald's in El Salvador by using Bitcoin. So it's really nice to have all this support from them. Then some news from Revolut that is going to pay the WeWork office space with Bitcoin. Then some news from Crypto.com that signed a partnership with some sport team. So Crypto.com is super active with all these deals. Last week they signed a deal with PSG, the soccer team of Paris. So they're really big on NFT. All right, so then we have some news from Apple. So a bunch of crypto holders are suing Apple because there was a scam that happened on the App Store with a fake wallet that basically stole a lot of their crypto. So that's bad, because this is typically the kind of thing that will make Apple not want any crypto wallet. They're going to say, all right, well, we don't want to run the risk of being sued by a bunch of angry investors, so we're just not going to allow anybody. All right, so then we have some news from Ripple that is going to build a market-making platform from XRP. I mean, it's really, this project, Ripple, this is really amazing. Like, you would think by this time they'll be dead. I mean, they had I think they're going through a lawsuit at the moment, or at least a huge threat of lawsuit. Nobody's using them, and no, they are still moving, not entirely dead. Interesting. All right, so next we're going to continue with news from other blockchains. So of course, the big news also last week was this huge problem for the Solana network. So basically what happened is that they were a victim of their success. So they have a feature where basically at the moment their fees are quite low, and so they were attacked by a bunch of bots that basically spam the network with some bogus transaction. and it completely clogged the network, and the network became unusable and for about 17 hours, and they had to reset the network. So now the network is up and running again, but of course that was really terrible for Solana, because I don't think this ever happened to a public blockchain of this importance. They already have quite a substantial market cap. So they try to compare this with what happened for Ethereum during what was called the Shanghai attack. That was, I think, sometime in 2018. So there was this basically this attack on the Ethereum network that slowed down the network for a couple of hours, but it never really stopped Ethereum. But for Solana, it did stop the network. So I mean, this is interesting because they say, oh, okay, well, we're going to make our blockchain more scalable by having a lower transaction fee. But if you do this, you also open yourself to this kind of attacks. So I mean, that show you that building a secure, a scalable blockchain is really hard, and it's why Ethereum 2.0 is taking so much time. But a lot of people, they don't want to hear this. They just want to go into the hype of all this so-called Ethereum killer, but they will painfully realize that scaling blockchain is really difficult, and that's why Ethereum 2.0 is taking so long. All right, so next we're going to continue with news for developers. So we have a new version of Remix that was released with an integration with GitHub. And so now you can push and commit files from Remix to your GitHub account. And so that's huge because one of the big problems of Remix is that the files in Remix do not persist. A lot of people complain that they lose their code very easily. So now you can fix this problem with this GitHub integration. Alright, so next we have some news from the Ethereum Foundation. So the Ethereum Foundation did a grant program to basically what they wanted. They wanted someone to specify how should we do signing with Ethereum, because we see more and more projects that use Ethereum wallet to signing, but they each do it in a different way. So the Ethereum Foundation wanted to specify this to create a standard, and so this company called Spruce won the grant for this, and so they are going to start the work, and they're going to do a lot of user survey, and so at the end they're going to produce a standard for signing with Ethereum. And once we have this, that's going to be great, because we're going to see more and more apps that propose an alternative signing method with your Ethereum wallet. Next we have some news from Infura, which has released a new service to manage your transaction on Ethereum. So now your dApp can submit transaction to this new feature, ITX, and it's going to help you to optimize your gas spending. It's also going to retry transaction when they fail. So Infra, which is proposing more and more features for enterprise blockchain. All right, so next, this is the time of the Q&A, but briefly, if you are new here and you want to become a professional blockchain developer, make sure to register for my free training, where I'm going to give you a couple of tips that are going to make you save a lot of time. All right, so let me scroll up in the chat and see what we have tonight. All right, so Synapse saying, rough day in crypto today, boys. Ciao, Pizza Bella. Don't worry, just some usual FUD and liquidation. Yes, exactly. Synapse, maybe Evergrande, might be Lehman in 2008. Oh yeah, so this is real estate company in China that apparently there is some huge worries about it. We don't know if it's going to become bankrupt and collapse the real estate market in China. So that's what's happening on the market. THX, hey Julian, ciao Pizza Bella. Evergrande doesn't need to be that bad if everybody keeps their head cool. Synapse, someone had a great quote: listening to the economists talk about DeFi is like having a blind man talking about photography. That's a good one. Ari, hi. Shippo, hey Julian, from South Africa, awesome. Tori Robinson, love you bro. Boss token is a winner. Siam Tamda, hey Julian, any update for the flash loan arbitrage course? Yeah, so the code is already ready. So you go in GitHub and you will find a folder update. So this is ready. Freeman Cryptoverse ETB token, I think is what you mean. Yes, Freeman ETH to 100 to 10,000. I think you mean, no? Pedro Monterolit, Hola Julian, George, hi everyone. Cryptolicious, is crypto going to dump hard today, tomorrow, even the top 10? I have no idea, but I'm not really interested in short term. I'm a long term holder, so it can collapse tomorrow. That's fine with me, really. Batman, smash the like button, everyone. Yes, Yashvira. Hey Julian, is the vacancy for instructor already filled? No, we're still going through the interview process. Xilom, hey Julian, what's up? What do you think about stablecoins issue? Are they safe? Which stablecoin issue do you mention? I mean, stablecoin, it depends which one, but if you use some of the big one like Tether, USDC, DAI, this is perfectly safe. Now you have some new stablecoin, like algorithmic stablecoin that are still very experimental. So these one I would not recommend them now. Javier Roman, cool stuff. Apple cash grab. I don't know what you're talking about, Javier. Cryptolicious. Hi. Cryptolicious. So Solana coded a fix and validators updated to new code with priority system messages being sent ahead of transaction. 400,000 transactions per second, so fast, bullish. All right, well, now it needs to stand the test of time, and we'll see if there is another attack. So I would say with Solana, interesting, but not too fast. Xilom, you think it's a good idea to have funds in a multi-sig like Gnosis Safe? So I know Gnosis Safe is used by some of the biggest projects out there, so it's really trusted. So if you have a lot of money that you want to keep, this might be an interesting choice. Or alternatively, you can just put your money in a hardware wallet. KTMT, hi Julian. Ari, question, did you succeed to deploy a smart contract on Arbitrum testnet? Yes, absolutely. Siamtamda Batman said you did not edit the code yet, the one for flash loan arbitrage, but I will show you where it is, but it's ready. Ari Seashore, what do you think about L2 versus sidechain? It's okay, so I have another video where I compare all the different scaling solution. So go check out this video, but basically we don't really care about whether the scaling solution will be considered L2 or sidechain. It's a little bit useless to be too focused on the keyword. We just want something that works in the end. And you always have some developer that tells you, oh no, this is a sidechain, but this one is an L2. The thing is, a lot of the things, they are hybrid. Maybe some scaling solution will have some element of L2, some element of sidechain. So it's not always easy to put them in a specific category. Freeman Cryptoverse, Eat the Blocks token. Yes. Oh, by the way, I'm going to deploy. I was supposed to deploy the staking app last week, but I was too busy. But yeah, this week normally I will deploy the staking app for the ETB token. REC choice. What is the best way to implement bridges? Okay, well, a bit difficult to answer like this, but you can search on my channel. I've done a video on bridges. Yash Vira, should I start learning Haskell for ADA? Will it be worth it? this can help you, but you know, Haskell is quite a big deal. So I mean, I hope that you have another reason for learning Haskell. If you're just learning for Cardano, I think this might not be enough of a motivation. All right. Okay. So I think this is it for questions tonight, guys. So thanks everybody for coming here, and I will see you later this week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye bye.